What's up, homies? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys episode number 16 in my 2017 Shelf by Shelf series. A series in which I show you guys everything that I own and talk about each item a little bit. And no, we are not covering VHSs today, maybe sometime in the future, but I picked this up at Goodwill. I just finished watching it. It was very bizarre, and I figured I'd make a video. So where were we? We were right about here. The Human Centipede. This movie, guys, I actually really enjoy this one. I thought that when it came out, it had sort of that viral effect where you have everybody talking about it. There were memes and GIFs, and they still go around to this day. But at the time when I seen it, I didn't know what it was, and I just watched it, and it ended up being really shocking to me. I was really uncomfortable watching it, but I was also on the edge of my seat and, you know, felt very crappy about what I was seeing. Since then, I've obviously watched like dozens of movies more shocking and you know, messed up than this movie, but at the time I thought this was highly effective. Since then, I have watched it and it hasn't held up quite as much. After that, we have The Human Centipede 2, which I actually do not like. I felt like this one was just shocking for shocking's sake. You know, it was trying to amp up everything that the first one did, you know, but show more, do more, just be a bigger film, you know, much like most sequels are. But I just felt like this one missed the mark. I didn't find it as intense or as, you know, weird as the first one. I just felt like this one was trying too hard. But yeah, it's one that I probably need to revisit because I've only seen it that one time and I was drinking. After that, we have Hypothermia. This one's actually not too bad of a concept, but the film is pretty awful. So it has an awesome 80s looking cover. It stars Michael Rooker. It's a contained horror film. It's a winter setting. It's a creature feature. It's pretty boring. And the creature looks terrible. That is the worst thing about this film. You're rolling with it completely until you literally see a rubber-suited monster. There's a little glimpse of him right there. It's one of the worst effects jobs I've seen in a film that has what seems like a little bit of money, or at least a name. And that name must have cost the entire budget, because what we get left with is a awful rubber-suited monster. This chick right here looks like Angela from The Office. I'm not sure if that actually is her. I don't think it is, but I'm just saying. I think I would remember if it was her. Let's move on here. We have I Am Legend, and this movie is the full screen edition. Yeah, that's right. I never like rebought this. This was in my grandfather's collection, and you know, I just, anything that's like a little horror or whatever ends up in my collection. So yeah, it was, I actually seen this movie in the theater, oddly enough, and I liked it back then, and it didn't hold up so well, but it's alright. I Know What You Did Last Summer, the trilogy. Yeah, what can you really say about these movies? We covered them on the podcast a while ago, and they're not the greatest. I really like the first film. The second film I actually like as well. The third film I used to like, but it didn't hold up as well, and honestly none of these films do. They're actually pretty bad and cliche, but for some reason I have a soft spot for them. I grew up with them, so they're alright. After that, we have I Spit on Your Grave, aka Day of the Woman. This is a awesome movie. Such an iconic cover here with the classic, I believe that is Demi Moore. Demi Moore is on the cover of this, I believe. I think I heard that from someone who heard it from Charles Band or something like that. But anyway, this movie is awesome, and I used to not like it, but it's really come a long way with me, and I absolutely love the commentary that is on this disc by Joe Bob Briggs. Great stuff. After that, we have Ice Cream Man and Jack Frost 2. What a weird pair. Absolutely love Ice Cream Man. Jack Frost 2 is completely and utterly awful. It is not a good movie, guys. It's just pure badness. But Ice Cream Man, I love, dude. I really love Ice Cream Man. I remember the first time I seen it was on Monster Vision when I was a kid, and I actually found it very creepy back then. And then I watched it as an adult. Actually, Ice Cream Man and Sleepaway Camp I rented from Netflix when I first got Netflix, the DVD by mail. And man, that was a bizarre night of watching movies, I'll tell you that. But yeah, the Ice Cream Man needs like a official, like, bigger release or whatever. Alright, we're over here in the corner now, guys, so excuse the lighting. We have Ichi the Killer to start off with, Takashi Miike. I've never seen this film, but I do want to do a director's spotlight on Takashi Miike for the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror, and this is one of the films that I do want to cover. I ended up grabbing this really cheap at an FYE, and I've heard mixed things about it, but it's Miike, so there's probably going to be some mixed things. After that, we have Idle Hands. This one I actually just recently watched when I got a Blu-ray copy of it, and man, this movie actually is still a lot of fun. I watched it when it came out back in the 90s, the late 90s, and I really loved it. And then I watched it again in like the mid 2000s, and I felt like it was really not as good as I remembered. But then watching it this time, it was much better than I remembered. And yeah, I was really surprised how fun this one was. I highly recommend giving Idle Hands a rewatch if you guys haven't seen it in a little while. After that, we have In Fear, which I've had in the collection forever, and I don't even know what it is. I think it was one that came out in like 2014 that I picked up for the 2014 podcast and just never got to it, so it's been sitting in limbo ever since. After that, we have a IFC Midnight, which, oh shit, I forgot I actually own this. I think this is one of the, like, I think this movie's actually good. I think it's like French or something. Wow, this is one that I've been wanting to see. I didn't even realize that I owned this. It was over here. If you guys can't see, it was over here in the corner. Can't really see over here that often. I don't get to this part of my collection until it eventually moves down. But yeah, man, I'm gonna have to check this one out. I've been wanting to see this. Ooh, Jesus, I didn't even realize I had that. After that, we have Incubus. This is, I don't actually know if I watched this one or not. It looks pretty bad, honestly. I don't know where I got this. It's so weird. Like, this little section of my collection is like full of mystery. After that, we have Infestation, and I did actually watch this one. This one was pretty good. It was, funny, fun. I did it on a Killer Bug Week. I think I reviewed it a while back. Kind of an average movie, but I remember thinking that it was pretty fun. About giant killer bugs and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. After that, we have Infested, which is not fun. It is not cool. It is not a good movie at all. Actually stars Zach Galligan, and surprisingly enough, his name is not on the cover. You would think that it would be. And this movie, I think I gave this movie like a 1.5 out of 10, or around there. It is absolutely awful. It's not a good movie at all. Then we have Inside, the Dimension Extreme version here, still sealed. Have not got to Inside, and don't tell me like, what the hell are you doing, man? Inside, it's like one of the best movies that you showed in your collection and stuff, and why haven't you watched it and it's still sealed? Because I bought it for a podcast and we never got to it on that podcast, so I'm waiting for it to come up on the podcast for my first time viewing. And so far it has not, so I guess it's just sitting in limbo. After that, we have Intruder, $295 general find. Honestly, it's actually pointless to own this now because I did recently pick up the Blu-ray, and this edition here by Full Moon is actually the cut version, so it's pretty pointless to even watch this. But I do have it in my collection, and I will keep it in my collection since it's just a different version. At least it has a little bit of value instead of being the same thing, but a worse version of it. Well, that kind of is what it is, but anyway, you get what I'm saying. Then we have Invitation to Hell. This is a Wes Craven classic. Not. It's not a Wes Craven classic. It is a mediocre film by Wes Craven, but it's a film that not a lot of people know about or talk about. It's a TV movie. It was alright. Honestly, it's not too bad. It has sort of like that. What's the movie with the women, the Stepford Wives? Yeah, I think it's sort of similar to that. Which I've never seen that movie, so I don't even know how I know it's similar to that, but I think I've heard other people say that it's similar to that, so yeah, it's not too terrible though, guys, honestly. Then we have Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS, starring the lovely Diane Thorne. And this is actually a bootleg, guys, but it is a well done bootleg, honestly. I actually like this movie, DVD-R. I actually like this movie quite a bit. It's awesome sleaze. I wish that I could, if this ever gets released on Blu-ray or a box set with the other Ilsa films, I will 100% buy it. I really like the Ilsa character, and I'm a kind of a fan of Nazi exploitation, at least this one. So yeah, the prison camp type movies, I kind of like those. They're sleazy fun. So I do want to upgrade this bootleg when I get a chance. I actually won this bootleg in a contest, so don't hate on me for owning it. After that, we have Irreversible, Gasparno, one of the best movies I've ever seen. It is a movie that, honestly, I should have probably rated a little bit higher. It did make my top 10 of 2002, but it honestly could have been even higher. It is a fantastic movie. The rape scene in this is by far the most intelligently directed rape scene I've ever seen. Just so brutal and uncomfortable, and makes you feel all the terrible ways that you should when watching a rape scene. 100% not glorified at all, and just depressing. So yeah, Irreversible. And that'll be it for this part, guys. I'll see you guys next time with another part. Peace.